Okay, so we're gonna start on the makeup, and I want to apologize up front for the harsh lighting, because this is not, you know, the lighting that you would want to do for soft and pretty and glowing and all that stuff. This is just bright lights that shine down on you, so it's not the best lighting. I apologize. Now, I've already done my face with cleansed it with the reverse regimen, and I've already got moisturizer on it. So now I'm ready, and I'm going to start with my foundation, and I used CC Cream by IT Cosmetics. It is a color correcting, illuminating, full coverage cream. It's anti-aging, and it's got hydrating serum, but it also has the SPF 50, which is what I look for. So I use that, and I'm going to be using my Sigma Flat Kabuki, and it's an F80. So I basically put a tiniest bit, just 2 little squirts, on the back of my hand. And where's my lid? Okay. And then I take my Kabuki and just dab half of it. And I'm not trying to be precise or anything like that. I'm just getting it just a tiny bit all over coverage. And I'm just dabbing. I'm not really worried about it. Just trying to get coverage, color all over, and then in the forehead area. I don't really go into the eye area. That is where you tend to have more lines, wrinkles, fine lines and stuff. Anytime you put creams in those areas, they will crease. It's just part of it. If you get lines in areas like that and you want to fix it, then I'll show you how that's done here in just a second. So basically, real fast all over with your foundation. Then your concealer goes on top of your foundation, not the other way around. So this one's about out, but I've got another one waiting in case I run out. This one is Naked Skin by Urban Decay, and I use the light warm, because I think there's 2. I think there's a light warm and a light cool. But anyway, I take it and I just dab along the same lines, kind of where I put my eye cream. And I go here. This is to eliminate this triangle from the end of the lips to the top of the eye. That is the area I want highlighted. So I'll put my concealer there, and I'm going to blend it in, maybe, if I find my brush. Here it is. And I use a large fluff. It is an E50 by Sigma, and it's getting kind of gunked where I've used it. So I'm going to do a video after this showing you how to clean brushes. So stay tuned for that one. But anyway, so I'm just going to dab again this in. I can do it a little bit more like this. This is what I call my war paint. I'm putting my war paint on. So I'm just kind of staying in this kind of area, the triangle kind of area. And this is the tree right here. So I'm doing the tree. So I'm dabbing, and just a tiny bit. As I said, I don't want to get a whole lot of product in that area because it will crease. So I've dabbed all that area. Now, because I know it's not fixed in good, I'm going to take my little bitty blender sponge, and I'm going to blend it all in. I'm going to look in the mirror so I can see better. But this is where it goes up under the eye a little bit. It blends it in, and it also takes away any extra product you might have. Blend it in a little bit and take away any product you might have that would stay in those creases. So if you think you got too much product over there, just keep blending it and getting rid of it. You can go back and do that over and over and over and over and over and over. Okay. I'm just doing a real quick run through. You take more time. Now I'm going to set the makeup. So Otherwise, if you put your blush on or your highlighting, it just kind of sticks. So this, I'm using Mineral Peptides. This is by Rodan & Fields. I'm using medium. This also has an SPF of 20. Now, my face should be pretty well protected. And what I like about this is if I don't want to wear makeup, I use this. So the medium works fine for me. Some people say they have to mix the colors. I just dab some in the little cap. And I use my powder blush brush by Sigma, which is an F10. And I basically put it in there, tap it off a little bit, and just, first off, I start by tapping. And this goes pretty much, oh, it goes a long way. So tap and put it on there. And now the last was up here. Now I start blending. So I rub it in. Make sure all the foundation, all the eye cream, concealer, and everything has been covered. This is giving me a fresh palette, so to speak, for the rest of the makeup. It makes it smooth, and I don't have the grabbing effect once I put other powders or other things on it, because this smoothed it out, gave it a all over color. Now, next I'm going to go with my Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D. This thing is old as the hills. I've used it, and this is for contouring a little bit because I have round face, round. I have no cheekbones. You don't see a lot of cheeks. You can barely see an indentation right there. So that is what I'm going to play up. Here's my palette. As I said, it's old. I'm going to take this medium color, put a little bit on my brush. This is a NARS flat brush, N-A-R-S. And I will try to link in my post all of the, where you can get all this. So I do the same. I got it loaded. I'm going to tap it off. You want to go from the top of your ear to your end of your mouth. So it's basically kind of a semicircle. So I'm just going to go same place. And you can see I already had that similar line there. So we're going to color like we did in children. I'm going to color it in, but I'm going to leave this triangle area from the end to the eye open. I want that to stay highlighted. So I'm just going to go in, dab back a little bit more. Don't have to worry about getting too much because I can always blend it in. You go into basically the frame of your face. So I'm going to go using the leftover. It's hard to see because of the bright lights, but it is framing my face. Yeah, the lights make it a little hard for you to see things. Same thing here. See, I'm going to make myself a cheekbone. People don't have to know everything, well, except when you tell everything. So cheeks and cheeks. Now, same thing with under the chin line. Here, I want to make this disappear as much as possible. So, cheek line. I'm going to shadow that. I want that to go away, so to speak. Not a lot, because you don't want to have a big line, so make sure you blend in, but that line to go away. Now, because I want to keep this to pop, I am using the light colors, what I have left of them. I really need to get me a new palette, but I am a cheapie. I like to make my stuff last as long as I can. So I load my brush, and I basically just go along that with the highlighted color. So I'm making that pop, making the dark show even brighter. So go right here, just make it pop. Now all of a sudden, my cheeks stand out a little bit more than they did before. That was the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Now I'm going to take my blush, whatever color you like. I have some different ones. This one is, they're stuck on my palette. So I have them in a magnetic palette. This is called Rendezvous. And it is by Makeup Geek. And this one is called Spellbound. Oops. It is also by Makeup Geek. As you can see, the palettes are magnetic, and so these little silver metal, they just stick right in them. So you can load any colors you want to take with you so that you don't have to take all kinds of colors with you. You just load your palette, your blush, your eyeshadows, whatever you want. I blend the two. Especially in the summer, I use the brighter color and the light color, but in the summer I tend to go a little brighter. So when I do it, I start by dabbing and I go along that line that I created a cheek. Still leaving open the triangle, but you just go and you dab. And as you notice, I haven't blended anything because I don't like to take extra steps to blend and then blend again. So I'm building color with the contouring palette and now with the blush. And even though it looks like a lot, once you blend, you lose so much of that color that you have to actually leave more than what you want. So I leave it on there now. Very pretty. So glad you followed me for a makeup tutorial. I'm sorry, that was used with a Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush by Sigma, and it is an F15. And you can see these would be white if they were clean. Once I clean them, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now for my eyeshadow, I'm going to go fairly light on my eyes today. I'm using a Tartelette palette, Tartelette by Tarte. Here are the colors in it. You can see they're really pretty. And I'm going to start with a base. So I want this entire eyelid, everything covered. I'm going to use Super Mom. It is this cream color. So I'm going in with a large brush. This has a no name. I don't know where. I think I got it in one of those Ipsy bags or whatever. So I'm going to tap and cover the entire eyelid. I'm going to do it again, make sure it's good and covered. This is just a good foundation. I don't use a primer. This is my primer. So I'm basically, you can see the colors all over instead of this one where it's not been done yet. And this is fun trying to do it in a camera instead of in a mirror, so this is interesting. I may have to use the mirror for later on, but anyway. So you cover it good. Now, I'm going to start building color. I don't use a lot of building. I'm just going pretty minor today. This one is called a tapered blending brush. It's an E35 by Sigma. And I'm going to take this Caregiver, which is a pale pink. So I'm going to, once again, get it. And I'm going to basically cover the eyelid. I want my eyelid to be brighter and lighter. So I'm going to cover the eyelid. And I'm going to end up going back over this because I want it to pop. After I get everything, I want to make sure it didn't get muddy looking. So I will go back and add some of this bright, lighter color at the end. But anyway, I want a good coverage on the eyelid. Next, I'm going to go with this color called Best Friend. It is kind of a burgundy color. And it's daytime. I'm not going to go really dark. If I was going out, I would do a lot darker. But I put a little bit of color on my brush. And I'm just going to do the tiniest bit on the outside corner. I want to keep my color going from this eye to the end of my eyebrow. So I will apply the color basically in that line. If you have trouble staying in that line, do like this. Put your finger here to the end of it and just tap on your finger. It can't go in that area, so you just kind of do it like this. When you go away, right there's your line. Once you blend, that hard line will go away. So just put it there and right there. Okay, got it. Now what I'm going to do, make sure I've tapped off all that color, I'm going to put it in that crease, but I'm going to go, my eye opens up, I want it actually in the deep crease and above. So I'm just going to smooth that so that once my eye opens, you see mostly light. You just see the crease, the color behind it. So I'm going to take it and do it behind it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me have this arch up here, highlight that eyebrow. Today I'm going to use the Free Spirit, which is this light cream color, load it pretty heavily, and I'm going to go underneath my brow to highlight that arch. I want to have, this will raise your eyes, especially as we get older. Seems like our eyes start to, you know, come in on each other. So I want to bring your eye up. I want to bring my eye. I also want to open my eye up. So I'm going to go straight down from that arch, basically into my eye to my nose and a little bit underneath. You may not see this, but it will catch the light and brighten your eyes up. Now that I've done this, I'm going to give it a little bit of depth, just a tiniest bit more, and I'm going to use this deep, deep, deep dark purple. This is called Bombshell. And I'm going to tap this little bitty brush. This one is a short shader E20, and the other one I was using was a blending E25, sorry. This one is an E20, and I'm just tapping it. I'm going to then just go a little bit along this line, lash line, and then I'm going to make it a V. So I'm going to go like this and like this. So I'm setting that color in a V shape, making that corner of that eye. Tiny bit along that lash line, just a tiny bit, because I'm going to go over it anyway in a minute, so you're not going to see it. But there, and then the V. Okay, enough, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to finish my eyes with my eyebrows first. I'm going to use my Brow Wiz. I use Blonde. This is by Anastasia of Beverly Hills. It's the Brow Wiz. On one end is this thing called a spoolie. It is for brushing your eyebrows in place. So get your eyebrows where you want them. This up, because that's the trend right now, to have a little bit thicker, even though it's not as bad as it used to be. And the other end is for your line. I'm going to use this for this right now. So I'm going to start, and I'm doing tiny little motions instead of just one straight line, because I want it to look almost like hairs. My eyebrows are much better because I do sometimes use the Lash Boost leftover residue on my eyebrows, so they've gotten much thicker, but I still want to color in to make them show up a little bit better because they are blonde and they don't show as much. Now, in case you're wondering how an eyebrow should be shaped, there's all kinds of tricks. From the end of the nose, the eye is where your eyebrow should start. So see, like right there. It should end from the nose to the eye to the end. The arch should be from the nose through the pupil to the arch. There are your 3 basic steps for making your eyebrow. So you color it in. I don't color on the bottom because I don't want to bring my eye down unless you have an empty or a spot that doesn't show. So you just color in just a tiny bit. You don't want it to be a huge line and people go, oh my gosh, you've colored in your eyebrows. You just want it to look like they're yours, natural. So I go and I go coloring in just a little bit thicker than what they are. Don't want them huge. I don't want them to stand out and then you look at my face and say, wow, nice eyebrows. And I don't think anybody's ever going to do that. But anyway, to set that, If you have to color over, if you don't have eyebrows there, if you don't see the little fine hairs, this will help you. This is the brow gel. Mine's just clear, and it's a little wand like mascara. Once you go over the eyebrows, I raise everything up to make sure they're all done, covered, and then I pull them where I want them to go. This little gel will highlight every little hair you've got, and it will look like, even though you've got really more pencil than you'd actually have hair, because this gel will show them, it looks like you have hairs there. So you see all the little hairs. This dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it. And once it dries, it kind of holds them in place, so you don't have to worry about them moving around, okay? Now, the last step before I put on my my mascara is my eyeliner. I use Doucce. Douce, I don't know. And I order mine off Amazon. It says 600 is what it says on it, or is it 60? No, 600. And it's smudge proof eyeliner. Mine needs a tiny bit of sharpening, so I'm just going to, I keep one of these sharpeners on the end of it. I'm just going to sharpen it just a tiny bit, but I'm not going to use it very thick line today, so I don't have to worry about it being too precision. I'm using black. A lot of people like brown for the daytime, but I'm going to go over it anyway with an eye color, the one I used before with my V, and so it's going to blend in. So basically, I have to use the mirror, sorry. I'm just going to barely do a tiny bit uplifting toward, just a tiny bit uplifting toward my eye, toward my eyebrow. Sorry, it's hard to see. And I'm just going as close to the eyelash line as I can. Got a little bit of, it doesn't matter if you aren't perfect, because as I said, I'm going to smudge it. So basically that's what I'm going to get. And I'm going to do it in the corner. Make sure right here, trying to get it where it shows. So make sure your bottom lid touches and get this corner good and cleaned up. I mean, you want it all color. You don't want a gap there. So right here, and go up a tiny bit. And then just go along the lash line. That's all I'm going to do. Now, what I'm going to do is that brush that has that purple color, the deep dark burgundy color, I'm just going over that. I'm smudging that line, getting a little bit of that dark black off, plus it is smooshing it into the lash line. You don't want a gap between your lash line and the line. You want it all seamless. I only go half over or 3/4 over because I want my eyes to go out, not just be eyes. I want them bigger, so I want them to go outward. Once again, just smush the color in. Now, for a little dramatic, because you look at me and you have this dark eyeliner, you have this eyeliner, you see the lash line. It just shines. So to make it a little more dramatic, I'm going to color the lash line. I'm going to raise up the lashes and just barely go the tiniest bit on that line up against the lashes. That's going to hide any line that you might have missed with your eyeliner. Same with the bottom. So I'm just barely going over it there at that lash line and coloring it in. You don't see the lash line now like you do over here. So coloring it in. And it might look a little stark right this minute, but once your entire makeup's done, your everything's on, you will think it looks so much better. So done with that. Now I'm going to use the mascara. I use Huge by Stila. It is in 9168. Anyway, it's black. Black Huge by Stila. Load your brush. There's your brush. And I'm not going to do a whole bunch, but you just basically start. I already get it on my nose. I'll show you how to take it off. Ignore it. Do not touch it now. So I'm going to just start at the base and jiggle a little bit going outward to the tips. And I do a very light coat. I don't want gobs of makeup. I don't want that mascara gobbing on my eyelashes. That's not pretty. So, I mean, it's just not attractive to have those big gobs. So there's my first, it's hard to see. There's my first coat, and I usually don't do maybe one, sometimes two, just depends upon how well it covered. I would try to do it here, but I don't know if I can see well enough. So you do upward and just kind of smush it in there. That helps to separate the eyelashes some. Make sure you get the ones on the corners. It's just hard to do. Okay. Now, because it did pretty good, I may have to try that all the time. Now, I don't really use a lot. I'm kind of wiping some of that off, and I'm going back to make sure they're all covered. Some people go to the back side of your lashes to make sure you got the very end tips and then go back. I do not curl my lashes. They've never been lashes that held a curl, so I don't bother curling my lashes. Just make sure that they're all covered good. Okay. So, almost done. I'm going to get my hair down a little bit. I'm going to fix my hair for you here in just a minute too on a separate video. I'm just getting all kinds of videos done today. Now I'm going to set my makeup here in just a second. And before that, now I've not forgot, I'm going to take off a little bit. I'm going to blend. I know it looks stark right now. I'm going to blend. This is my large powder F20. It's a big fluffy brush. And I'm going to just blend. So all of that stuff I put on, blend it around just a little bit. It'll take off the excess. And now I'm going to set it by using Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This helps so well. I mean, when you put it on, it will still be pretty much there the rest of the day. And it's just a very light spritz. Done. Last and last and last forever. Because you just use a tiny, tiny bit. Now, because my eyes are darker, because I have so much color here, I don't want a bright, bright lip today. So I'm going to use, trying to decide if I want to use Praline Rose or Pink Champagne. These are lip scents. They are a, what do they call it? Long-lasting liquid lip color. And they do last really long. I think I'm just going to go with Pink Champagne. Who doesn't like champagne? Okay, so lip scents is a little different. It's kind of like a lip stain. Once it goes on, it tingles just a little bit. So I want to warn you, if you try it, it does tingle just a little bit. It's supposed to have alcohol in it, so it is works for germs. So it does have alcohol, and that's where you get your tingle from. You just load your thing, and you kind of put it on, and you don't matte, you don't or anything, you just let it dry. They recommend 3 coats. I generally will get just 2, just because I don't need 3 colors. So I'm going to put it on. I tried to do it this way, okay. So you outline your lips. You don't need lip liner with this. It does not move. And it's gonna be fun. I just blotted after I said not to. Trying to see if I got it right. Okay, so you let it dry. It's a little sticky, gummy if you put your lips together right now. I mean, the sides will be kind of, need to separate them. So I'm going to put a second coat. It's just drying a little bit, and second coat. Make sure I did that right. Okay, now here's the good thing about Lip Sense. This is a pale color, but had I put bright red, it does not matter. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It stays. So that's the wonderful part. If you're going to a wedding or you're going somewhere and you want that color staying, it's perfect. They have a gloss. I'm not a glossy person. I just don't like it. It's gummy to me. I mean, it's beautiful. They have some in different things. It has like glitter and everything, and that's wonderful. I just use my moisturizing stick that I have with other lip stains, and this one is by CoverGirl. So I'm just going to apply this. And I'm set. Done. Now, onward to the hair. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It's hard to see, but maybe afterwards without the blaring lights. I mean, the lights are they're horrible. Let's see if I can get away. Nope, can't get away. Anyway, see you girls later. Bye.